Yo, what's up YouTube? This is JC, coming at you from Rowton Castle. It's a bit of a strange one, this is. I'm here just out of sheer coincidence, and I've had an exposure to a couple of people, individuals like myself, derived from monkeys, they say, great apes, and then out of Africa, and then end up here, in the UK, and by this castle which I know nothing about. So I might actually walk up here. There's this tree here which I know you're going to think this looks unusual, as I do, and you can see the amount of years in that tree. Absolutely unbelievable. Actually going to come off the road a little bit, and that is a vehicle. And just see the lovely tree, the lovely branches there, and the stump that must have a huge set of roots that go down. I understand this tree got hit by lightning. It's quite old. Probably one strike was enough. One good strike was enough to shock it into oblivion, but it still looks like it's very much serving a function, shall we say. This is Rowton Castle. Can't tell you much about this place at all, but I'm just going to be filming around, chatting, because what's on my mind isn't really about bricks and mortar. It's more about flesh and blood, namely my own. I'm not going to say I'm going to pop my clobs any second now and drop the phone or anything like that, but it is about my existence, and in fact every other human being that's watching this and that won't watch this, because I'm just going to tell you how it is, because I've had a bit of a revelation. I've had a doctor qualification. I don't know much about nutrition. It was right, these people pointed it out. Despite being a personal trainer at one point. What I've come to realise is that, and please disagree with me if you think I'm chatting proverbial, codswallop or whatever, however you want to call it. Very, very civilised, isn't it? So basically, the pharma companies, and I want to say farming as well, with their monocultures and their drugs, are not trying to bring us into health. They're trying to bring us into dishealth or disease, and then give us medications, sell us medications, especially if we're in the States via our insurance, to make us better again, or supposedly. So basically we are like slaves to our desires, number one, which has been around since biblical times and before then, hasn't it? But the point is, at least then we had perhaps a more natural way of eating and drinking, rather than all the synthetic forms of foods And I'm not talking about GM crops here, I'm talking more about additives, preservatives, that kind of thing. So basically, what I come to understand today is, yeah, we are what we eat, but what if what we're eating is kind of poisoned by chemicals, poisoned by preservatives, um, poisoned by additives. You could say fertilizers. I mean, fertilizers are organophosphates. Organophosphates are, you know, potentially poisons, but then so much can be poisoned. But without waffling too much, which I am, basically our food, generally speaking, is absolute codswallop. Obviously, I'm being euphemistic here. Too much carbs, too much processed carbs. When I say carbs, I mean predominantly the sugary or carb-heavy carbs. By a Brussels sprout wouldn't be, generally speaking, a carb-heavy carb. Carrots and potatoes would be a carb-heavy vegetable. Peas potentially also. But my point is, too much carbs can make you sleepy. Too much carbs can give you sugar spikes. Can make you have too much, should we say, carb in your bloodstream, which then doesn't allow your liver to process the fats and the carbs it would naturally have, and then use that as a fuel source. It doesn't allow your muscles to release what carbs they might be storing. So essentially, a lot of us are swimming around in a type of carb-heavy blood full of essentially sugars, if you want to call it sugars, that then cause you never to lose weight, always perpetually in a obese state or overweight state, and fueling yourself with carbs that then make you yes, that's a dual fuel racing car, currently still dual fuel, and making you never lose weight, always inflamed, perhaps suffering from diseases, or making you more prone to diseases that give you that make you more prone to diseases than if you weren't in such a pro-inflammatory state. So diseases can be like diabetes, dare I say it, maybe Alzheimer's. I don't know, I don't have that kind of evidence, so I'd like someone to come up with some evidence linking pro-inflammatory states to Alzheimer's. So I was wondering, could this be it? Could this be that? I'm going to say, especially in the States, let's target the States, and I'm not anti-American here. Basically, oh yeah, look at this. Basically, in the States, people have to have private insurance, unlike the UK, and they bill the medical companies so much money, and cause people to cause hospitals to overinflate their bills for medical insurance. So so you can imagine how hospitals and everything increase their bills because you've got medical insurance. Whereas if you go in there and say, "Oh, I'm paying cash," then they can cut your bills by up to 90%. Isn't that incredible? So not much to see down here. So Well, I suppose what I'm trying to say is, if we want to be healthy, sometimes we've got to do the things that we don't want to do, eat the things we don't want to eat, and drink the things we don't want to drink. So potentially, potentially sort of, gosh, this is rather tasteful. So potentially also, just doing things that we don't usually do. So, for example, cutting out carbs. I mean, we're thinking like the paleo diet and which are well known, well documented, the paleo diet and the ketogenic diet. So eating foods that are low in carbs and eating foods that are not very well refined foods. For example, dark bread rather than highly processed white bread. I mean, that's a basic example. Choosing foods that have less additives in. Choosing foods that have, like no more than 3 ingredients in the ingredient list, or foods with less than 5 grams of carb per serving. So basically that kind of thing. So really what I'm talking about is leading a simpler life. Something that my father would have talked about, because he was very much an allotmentier. So leading a simpler life means eating stuff that you grow yourself, ideally, like vegetables, like fruits. Hi gentlemen.
Hi.
Like vegetables and fruits and things like that, and just things that you grow all by yourself, rather than like stuff that you buy from crops and that you get from from superstores with all kinds of amazing ingredients and everything like that. Ice cream with different colours and different preservatives. That's not what it's about, lads. It's about trying to eat for your health and releasing that energy that you've got inside you, energy you've never known you've had. You've got one life, guys. What are you going to choose? What are you going to do? I'll leave it to you, guys. This is JC out.